For 5 months, I bled every single day. Sisters, it's been a year. I didn't plan to become the woman that talks about her hysterectomy on social media, but there I was, and here I am. What I've learned from the past few years is the things that we think are too much, too personal, or too uncomfortable to share are usually the exact things that someone else is silently carrying. A reminder, sisters, that we are not alone. We are not alone in the hard seasons that we walk through. My journey began with a hysterectomy, and it wasn't solely physical. I also was somebody that was doctorless navigating this whole situation, so there was lots of visits to the emergency room, which is a story for another day. Yes, there was pain. Yes, there was standing in lines at Chapters in a pool of my own blood. If anybody hears from Chapters, thank you for what you did for me that day. 100% of my vacation days last year were used for sick days. I hosted live events in diapers while I was passing clots the size of my hand. Iron transfusions, almost blood transfusions, pills, needles, 5 IUDs. You heard that correctly. 5 IUDs with 0 pain management. If you know, you know. Honestly, the hardest part of all of it, the biggest thing that nobody prepared me for, was the grief, the identity shift. 22 years ago, my husband and I weren't sure if we were going to have kids. We just kind of left it up to the universe. Nobody prepared me for the grief and the identity shift that came to me this year. I lost 5 of my organs, my body parts. I questioned my womanhood. In the moments of deafening silence, I questioned myself. The grief and the doubt hit me like a train. What have I done? What have I done? It would have killed me. The surgeon confirmed that for me. After essentially hemorrhaging while I was on stage, running to the bathroom in a pool of my own blood, I thought to myself, why isn't anybody talking about this? I went my entire life never knowing what a fibroid is, and it took me until I was on my knees to figure it out. So I made a choice. I made a choice to share the real, the messy, the raw, the hard, while I kept going. And something beautiful happened. Other women showed up. They showed up in my messages, in my comments, in real life. Oh my God, me too. I thought I was alone in this. Thank you for saying what I didn't know how to put into words. I was barely holding on to my own life force. And I still stepped up and shared because I knew deep down in my heart that somebody else that needed to see this would see it and get hope. This experience taught me that strength doesn't always look like pushing through. I can push through anything. This experience taught me that there is power in slowing down. Strength is asking for help. Strength is being honest about what hurts. Our stories, especially the hard ones, carry so much power. So much power. When Miriam asked me today what I wanted the women in the room to know, I want all of you to know that 80% of us will experience fibroids by the time we are 50, and no one knows what they are, and there's not enough research behind them. Fibroids are non-cancerous tumors. They'll go in your uterus and outside of. I had 2 the size of grapefruits, 1 sitting on my bowels, 1 sitting on my bladder, and the rest of my uterus was full of tumors the size of grapes that made my uterus double its size. It was so big, they couldn't remove it laparoscopically. I had to birth my own uterus. And in my recovery, I had a 2nd-degree laceration. I've never had kids before. Nobody prepared me for this. Nobody prepared me for a catheter. Nobody told me what a peri bottle was. Whew. If you need that list of recovery items that actually help you during a recovery from a hysterectomy, reach out to me. I have a whole list, and other women have reached out to me for the same list. The second thing I want you to know is that the power of your story is never just for you. The thing you are carrying, the part of your story that you're not sure is appropriate to share, if it's taboo, if it's not mainstream, it might be the exact reason somebody else feels less alone. It might be the reason that somebody else keeps going. We think we need to be fully healed in order to share, but sometimes the most powerful thing we can do is speak while we're struggling. Speak while we're still becoming. When we share our story, we lighten it. And somewhere out there, someone else realizes that they're not alone. And if they get a shred of comfort, a shred of light, a shred of hope, it's worth it. And if my story does anything, let it reach the woman who has been moving in the community hiding this. Remind her that there is an entire room of women who understand. Because none of us were meant to walk through life alone and do the hard things alone. There is strength when we share. There is strength when we are together. Thank you.